Welcome back, everyone. It's Evanusa57 here. I'm back on Neverwinter on the Xbox One, and today this video will be explaining the Lost City of Omu Star 2 hunts, hopefully answering all of your questions. So in order to actually summon these, you will need the lore. But in order to make it, you will need to unlock the Monster Hunt Omu Epic Creatures. This is the second tier in the Monster Hunt tier for Omu, and before you can unlock that, you will need to fully complete the lore tasks in the Soshin Star River or the regular Jungles of Cholt campaign. Now, in the process of this video, we will also get a achievement, so this will be a achievement guide as well, and the achievement that we will be obtaining is Vol's Guide to Monsters Volume 5. Complete all the Star 2 hunts in the Lost City of Omu. Now, to start off with, I'm going to show you what you need and what drops from where. If you need the regular Star 1 hunt information, reference my Neverwinter Hunts of Omu fully explained video for the Star 1 hunts. But this is what you need. The Bloody Giant's Cloak is the Star 1 hunt. The piece that you can get from that is the Hoary Paw. Then the Horn of the Eotyrannus is the Star 1 hunt, which drops the Talon if you're lucky enough. The Talon and the Hoary Paw can be traded in to make the T2 lore, the Giant Arrow Root. Then the Cholton Spirit Ward will drop, or can drop, the Cold Stones. The Horn of the Ape can drop the Blood-Caked Cutlass when you defeat, obviously, the enemy that is summoned by that lore. Those two items make a Soul in the Jar. Then you need the Giant Spider Pheromones, which is the Star 1 lore. That can drop Chitter's Spinneret when you summon him and fight him. And then the Tyrannosaur Tail Meat is the Star 1 lore that can yield you when you defeat Red Fang Spear, which will make a third lore. So once you have the respective Tier 2 pieces, what you need to do is you need to go back to Port Nyanzaru, because this is where you actually trade in the items. And obviously you need to have the hunts unlocked in order to trade them in. If you do not have the hunts unlocked, you need to find somebody who does have the hunts unlocked. In this case, that would be Evil Bunny. So yeah, shout out to her, because that's totally a thing. Now, once you find somebody that has the Tier 2 lores unlocked, you can come over here and either trade with them, or if you have it unlocked, you can talk to each one of these NPCs, and you will see the respective item that you can trade for. The item that I didn't have as far as the Tier 2 lore was the Thayan Enchanter's Rod. So since I can't actually trade them in, I'm going to go ahead and trade with Bunny, and I'm going to give her all of the items back, because we already summoned all of the T1 hunts for you in a previous video, so I don't need to resummon the T1 hunts. I will leave a link in the description though to the T1 hunt video, just in case you are looking for it. Unfortunately, these lures do take up a good amount of inventory space. Now, I am going to go ahead and let Bunny trade in these items. I showed you where the Thayan Enchanter's Rod came from. This NPC over here allows you to get the Giant Arrow Root. This NPC over here is not the one that I actually wish to talk to. It's just a plain NPC in my way. This NPC over here allows you to make the Soul in a Jar. And lastly, this NPC right here allows you to make the T3 lore, which we don't have the pieces for, so he's kind of a waste for you. This NPC right here does allow you to make the rest of the Star 1 lores. But there's only 3 people for you to talk to for the Star 2 lures, sadly. Now, once you have combined the pieces, you're going to need to actually go summon the individual bosses. Obviously, we only have 1 of each lore right now, because they are kind of hard to get. There's multiple RNG walls that you have to go through, but that's okay. We're going to go summon those things. So what you will want to do is not get stuck on that little talisman totem thingy. Go back to the lost city of Omu, and there's 3 summon plates for you. Now, one of them is underground, which is going to be the one that we go to first, because it's the annoying one to get to, or one of the more annoying ones to get to. I just have to make sure I go and enter the right section of the map, that is. So many jokes could be made with this, but we shall refrain from that. There are, well, you have to go into the Undercity, and there's many, many, many holes into the Undercity, so just hope you pick the right one. There's actually not really a right or wrong hole. They're all fun. You can take that however you want. No, just kidding. The point of it is you can get to any section of the Undercity from technically any hole. If you have the right, like, kits, that is. The thievery kits and stuff to use the gates. So we're going to run past this area because nobody cares. We are not summoning jitters again. If you happen to see any glowing mushrooms, you can gather the resources from them if you want. Kind of besides the point. While you're down here, keep an eye out for rare enemies. They can spawn in the Undercity, and if they do spawn, you might as well go ahead and hit them. Now we're going to try and not aggro that pack of enemies because I really don't want to fight them. Except most of the time your companion will aggro them, so you have to fight them. Go over here to where you would find Chatterbell, and you will see the summon plate. So, wait for your team members to be nearby. I would recommend you bring a friend. T2 enemies are no joke. Doable, but no joke. And let's go ahead and see what rewards we will get. So there is the really, really, really annoying Beholder. Because, yeah, that's what you always wanted, was to fight a giant, ugly-ass Beholder. Obviously, put the loot mode on whatever you want. Need or greed or free-for-all, up to you. And just defeat him as fast as possible. You'll get your little piece of lore, and then we can see what he drops, which at the moment was just a ring of the Spellflinger, which I totally don't want. So that was a very disappointing end to a T2 lore. A T2 lore that is worth, at the moment, about anywheres from 8 to 12 superior marks of potency for a blue piece of salvage. Yeah. I won't comment on the drops, because the drops are really annoying. Which, you can also go down this hole, too, if you want. That hole is almost a little bit closer to the summon point. Just personal preference, what hole you prefer. They all lead to the same spot. Our next 2 summon points will be over this way. They're actually going to be very close to the Star 3 summon point. And obviously, if you want to make the Tier 3 lore, you're going to need the Tier 2 special pieces. So, yeah, that's a thing. And they can be very annoying to get. Now, I'm going to do the easy one. The Tyrant Summon Plate is way over there. Here is another summon plate, though. This is for one of the tier 2 monsters. Again, make sure that your team is with you, and make sure the heroic encounter is not active. From here, you will get this little manticore, because, yeah, who doesn't want to fight a manticore? Again, I do recommend that you bring a friend with you, if at all possible. It makes it easier to kill these things. And you'll defeat him and get your piece of lore. I think we actually did get the T3 drop from him. Yep, there you go. That's the T3 drop from him. The ensorcelled manacles, or whatever the heck you want to call it. And he also dropped the mane of the manticore. Now, if you wish to see what the item looks like before rolling on an item, just in case you're not sure if you want it or if another party member wants it, you can go into your collections and you can look at it. This one is interesting. I simply want it for the collections purposes. And it is when you use your daily power, your next enemy that attacks you takes damage equal to 50% of your maximum health. 30-second cooldown. So, unique. I kind of want it just for the fact that when you preview it, it looks cool. But that's for you and your group to decide what you want. As far as the ring goes, I have no interest. Now, our last summon plate is up here. Which, word of warning, there are glitched out gorillas. Try not to fight the glitched out gorillas, because they're really annoying and you can't kill them. And there's the gorilla, who's also, at the moment, marginally stuck behind a column. Let's totally hope that we can get to the loot that he drops. If he's stuck out behind a column for you as well, then yeah, easiest boss to fight ever. Oh, there we go. Now he's actually in play. Maybe. Kind of. This one's definitely a bit glitchy. And he can hurt a lot. He really did not like my Soul Sight Ice Knife combo. And then you get your lore for defeating him. A few seconds after you defeat the final one, you'll get your achievement. Vol's Guide to Monsters Volume 5. Complete all the 2-star hunts in the Lost City of Omu. A diamond achievement with a completion of 0.01% of players. And you may also run into some glitched or now unglitched gorillas. Murder them. Just for good measure, so you can go check out your loot. Here is the visage. I'm going to just pick this up for the collection points and show you what it does. But other than that, he did not drop the tier 3 piece that we need. This is when you have a shield or temporary HP, your critical strike is increased by 1,000. Not, like, awesome, but, again, an item that looks cool. If we preview it, you'll see that the gauntlets look really cool. So, mainly a transmute item, which I guess we didn't really do too bad. We got 1 tier 3 piece out of 3 tier 2 lores. So, not terribly bad, but you have to do a lot of lores to get what you need. And that's the glitched out gorilla. That's what happens if you fight the gorilla and then you try to summon it, you just keep getting pounded in the face by a regular gorilla. So, at the moment, it's bugged out. Maybe they'll fix that. Maybe it's fixed on PC. I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully the video answered any questions that you have. If you should have a question afterwards, feel free to ask. Otherwise, make sure that you smash the like button and share the video. It greatly helps out with the searchability of videos here on YouTube. Other than that, let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the video explaining how to make the Tyrant lore as soon as I actually get the pieces for that. So until then, stay frosty.